Okay, I should be, I think, online now. Just got to give it a few minutes here to let everyone join. Okay. One second, be right back. Sorry about that. Granddaughter decided to come in and announce her presence, so I shooed her away and told her to go bother her dad. Okay, so we're going to give it just another minute or so here, and then once we are good to go, I'll go ahead and start the stream. Or start the stream. I've already started the stream. I'll start actually going through the data over here, so we'll bear with me for just another minute or two, and we'll start. So I have people in the chat, but Twitch is still showing 0. Gotta love that delay. All right. Okay, now we're showing people online. All right. Missed by 40 million. Oh, yeah. It takes a while. Sometimes there's a delay of anywhere between 5 minutes and 15 minutes, I've noticed. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. So like we usually do each month, I'm going to start off with the bosses. So with the bosses, it's usually one, I've noticed anyway, it's usually one reused and one new. So this one's reused. We've actually had this one twice before. One of them was called the Sapphire Runite. Hey, Frazen. And then the second one, I can't remember, but it was Water and Earth the first time and Water and Fire the second time. So this is the third time. This is going to be, I believe, Earth and Spirit based on the colors. And then that one is Earth and Air based on the colors. So this is a new one, and that's a reused boss. So this one we've had twice before, so this is the third time. And this is a new one. So we have boss number 1, which is image number 2. And again, this is not a guarantee of the order of the bosses. This is just the way that they come out in the file. So I'm naming them literally the way that they come out in the file. So it's entirely possible that boss 1 might actually be the second boss and vice versa. No way of knowing. This is just how I label them as they come out of the files. So there's our bosses. So we have that one and that one. So a reused boss and a new boss. So that's kind of cool. All right. Moving on to our armors. Very first one is a reskin, not surprisingly. So this one is the Megaton Templar. It was a dual Earth war armor from a while back. So that is armor number 1. That's Earth and Spirit. That is male, yeah. So there's number 1. And there is the female of the same one, so that makes it easy. Okay, next up, we have a reskin combo. So this one's a combo of what looks to be 3 separate armors, if I'm looking at it right. So this one, The head is the title cut blader, Summertide male, that kind of look to the head, but it looks a little different. It's got like some stuff coming out the back, and the horns are kind of different. But the shield is from a dual air, I can't remember the name of it, Tailwind Crusader, something like that. It was a war armor also. So that's the shield from it, but the weapon and the armor itself is from an airfire we had in heroic mode just like a month or two ago, the Elios Flare Guard. So this is three separate armors all rolled into one. Basically, it's the head of one, the shield of another, and then the armor of everything else of a third. So this one is armor 2. That is earth and earth, I think. Let me look here. So I think that's earth, because we got these earth blocks, you know, coming off the shoulders and all that good stuff. But if we zoom in on this particle effect right here, you can see that's earth also. So there's no other elements in this. It's just earth. So that's a dual earth. So we might have, hey Aaron, so we might have 3 wars this month, I think, in May. If memory serves, we have 3 wars and 2 raids. So, by the way, there are 10 total armors, so there are 5 events. So I can tell you that much right off the bat. So this one is probably going to be one of the wars, so a dual earth. So I'm pretty sure that's not going to be an exclusive, because the exclusives are very rarely, if ever, reskinned or reused armors. See if there's 3 raids. Looking at my calendar, we just had one. So we're going to have one on the 10th of May and the 24th of May. So there's going to be 2 raids, and the wars are the 3rd, 17th, and 31st. So there's 3 wars, 2 raids. Anywho, so that one is armor number 2, dual earth. There's our raid armor. That's the earth and air. So there's the air swirl and the air particle effects. So that's the air and earth armor. That is armor 3, air and earth, air, whatever. And that is the male, I believe. That's armor number 3. That's the raid armor. Looks just like the looks just like the boss, actually. So that's not surprising. All right. Then we have a step down from Ascension, male of the very that male? That's male. A step down from Ascension from this very first one. Yeah, 3 wars. That's a new one. That's earth and fire. You can tell by the little fire effects there, and then the fire effects in here. Not as easy to tell until you zoom in. You can kind of see they look like flames. Sometimes you can get earth and fire confused if you're not looking closely enough. But this is an earth swirl at the feet, earth blocks, and then the fire particle effects up here and also right there. So that's the earth and fire. So that's earth, fire, whoops, earth. That is male, I believe. Yeah, it looks to be male. Sometimes they're harder to tell with the chest plates. They're not always as obvious. Okay, so that's that one. So next up we have the next step down from Ascension, the female version of that very first one. So again, that's the Megaton Templar. That's the reskin of that one. There's the other raid armor, and it is Earth and Spirit, like I thought. So this one is, originally it was the Sapphire Brunite, and that is Phrasen Plateau. Nice of it to show you that you've just started following when you've been in the chat for like 5 minutes. Nice of it to be delayed there. So anyway, this is the Sapphire Brunite. I can't remember the second one's name. It was one of the renamed armors for the raids. It was renamed for the top raid of the top raid leaderboard. I don't remember what the name was now. But this one was originally water and earth, and then it became water and fire for the renamed one, and now it's spirit and earth. So they're maintaining one element from the original. So this is our second raid armor. 28th war, 3rd raid, 10th war, 7th, yeah. So looking at my calendar, Aaron, so the first war in May will be on the 3rd, the second on the 17th, the third on the 31st, and then the raids are on the 10th and 24th. Welcome, Political Rage. So this one is... this is raid number 2. Again, it's not a guarantee of the order, just the way they come out. So this is raid number 2, Earth and Spirit. That is male, I believe, also. And this does look exactly like the original armor. It's just been colored to match Earth and Spirit colors now instead. So anyway, there's that. All right, then we have the, I believe that's a step down from Ascension, or is that just the female? That's just the female version. of the dual Earth up here, number 2. So that's the female version of that one. It sucks, yeah. I'm not a big fan of wars in general. I prefer raids given the choice. So this is Earth and Spirit also. This looks to be... Huh. That one might be a... I'm trying to think here what the... Yeah, so the original exclusive for Earth Month would have been Earth and Air. So this is probably going to be just a seasonal Earth and Spirit. So this is probably going to be one of the seasonals. The Earth and Fire up here that we looked at earlier, which is that one there, is likely going to be one of our seasonals too, because I don't think there's another Earth and Fire in the files. I glanced through it briefly yesterday. I went through it kind of more in detail yesterday just to see what I had. So I know there's 10 armors. Looks like Ultraman. It kind of does, actually. Yeah. But anyway, that's the Earth and Spirit, most likely seasonal. So armor 6, Earth Spirit. That is male, I believe. Yeah. There's our female of the raid armor, which is this one here, if memory serves. Yes, okay. So that's the female of the raid armor. Oops. Okay, so that one is Earth and Air also. That is a reskin of the Sea Behemoth. No, it's because there's 5 events. So there's War, Raid, War, Raid, War, and then 4 seasonals and Fusion. So there's 10. So that is a reskin of the Sea Behemoth. I don't think it's been used at all otherwise, so I don't think there's been any other versions of that armor. So this is armor 7, also Earth and Air. This is the male also. This one's again harder to tell when you have to zoom in on the chest plates to really get that one clear. There's the male, but a step down from Ascension. Evo 1, there we go. Okay, yeah, that one's the, that's a raid armor. Earth, Water. Oh, the one that I was just looking at? No, this one here is Earth and Spirit. So we have the earthy blocks around the sides here. Like you can see these little guys, the blocks. And then there's a Spirit swirl at the feet. For comparison, let me see if I can find an Earth Water. There's the Earth Water right there. So you can see the water swirl and then the earthy blocks. So it's pretty clear when you're looking at them which one's which. Okay, so next up we have the female of that same one, the Earth and Spirit, which is this one here, I think. Yeah. So that is the female of that one. And there's the Earth and Water, so this is probably going to be the seasonal, I would guess. Because I don't remember, I think there's only one Earth and Water as well, so this is going to be a seasonal also. So this one is armor 8, Earth and Water. That one is, I believe that's female, based on the size of the waist. I'll look at it a bit more just to be sure, but I think that just based on the waist itself, because waists on female versions tend to be much more narrow, not as broad. So that one I think is the female. I'll come back, of course, if I'm wrong. There's the... I think that's female. I have to look at it now. Let's see, Earth and Air was this one. Yeah, so let's slide this over here and zoom in. What I've been doing lately is I'll zoom in on the arm like this, and you can see there's a gap, more of a gap between the shoulder piece and the arm piece down here. That's usually the easiest way. The last one I just showed. Sorry, there's a bit of a delay, so I'm not sure which one you're talking about. If it's Earth and Water, yes, it probably is. If it's Earth and Fire, it's seasonal as well, because there's only one of each. There's one Earth Fire and one Earth Water. So, but this one actually I thought this one here was the male. This is actually the female. So this one, I'll copy that. This is actually the female, and this one here, zoom back out, is the male. It's hard to tell sometimes. Not always as easy to see. With these like really big, elaborate chest pieces, you can't really see a waist, like a clear separation there. So I have to use the arm as my reference point. You can also tell using the legs, like the legs on the male tend to be a bit farther apart versus the female, which tend to be a bit more close together. It's not as easy to see really if you don't look really closely, but there's a bit more of a gap right there than there is here. But the arm is the easiest way. So if I look at the arm right there, and then I go up to the arm up here, you can see there's a gap here and there isn't one here. It's like right up against the elbow piece. So anyway, moving on. One of those things you learn after a while of doing this. There's the, I believe that is the female, I think. Again, I'm going to have to look at this one because it's not as obvious. Okay, so here's the male. Where's the arm? Where are you at? Yes, this is the female. Okay, just making sure. So this is the female, but one step down from Ascension. Ah, for crap's sake, I keep hitting that D. Okay, there is the female of the Earth and Fire. The only Earth and Fire in the files. So that is obviously going to be our seasonal. That is, I was right. So this one is the male. So if you compare that to this one here, you can see, like if I zoom in on the waist here, and I zoom in on the waist here, you can see this one's much more narrow, much more broad. And again, the arms are always a clear indication. So if I go back to the arm, where are you? Right there. So if I go to here and I look at this, you can see there's a little bit more of a gap right there. It's not clear, but not as obvious than it is right here. So that's, again, just one of those things you notice. So this one's just a little bit higher up. This one's a little bit, or sorry, this one's a little bit higher up. This one's a bit farther down. So this one is the male right here. So I was right on that one. So this one is male. Now we have another combo. So they're getting a bit more elaborate with the combo reskins. So this shield is from the Ethereal Winds. It was an Earth and Air exclusive, the shield only. The head is from the Drill of Mists, which was war armor, also Earth and Air. And then the weapon is from the bunny armor, the Egg Bearer's Aegis. That's a weapon from that one. It was also reused on the Air and Water exclusive we had a while back. That was the Titan's Yield Mail head, but the body of the I can't remember what the name of it was, but or the body of the Egg Bearer's Aegis, I mean. So this is the same weapon, but the weapon and the armor are from the Egg Bearer's Aegis. The head is from the Drill of Mists, and then the shield is from the Ethereal Winds. Sorry, drawing a blank. So this one is Air and Earth also. So this is Earth and Air number 3. So there are 3 Earth and Airs, 3 Earth and Spirits, 1 water or 1 Earth Fire, 1 Earth Water, and then we're going to have 2 Dual Earths. So that's our 10. So there we go. So armor 9, Earth Air. That's the male. And there's Earth and Air. That one I think is female. Yeah, that's female. So this is the step down from Ascension on this one, I think. Welcome, Nuke Gamer 121. Sorry, it's a little bit delayed. Oops, that's the wrong one. Not the one I wanted. I wanted this one. Yes, so that's the Earth and Fire, Earth and Air, Earth and Fire. But one step down from Ascension. And there's our exclusive. This is the Dual Earth. So that's the exclusive Dual Earth. I kind of like the look of it, all in all. Looks pretty cool. So that's our Dual Earth exclusive. I believe that's male. Okay, there's Earth and Fire. That's female. Let's step down from Ascension. There's the Earth and Spirit Raid Armor. That's the female. That was this one? Yeah. Remember the order of my armors here. Which one's which? Because I've got 3 of each one. And then I've got 2 of the Dual Earths. So that's the same one, but that's the male, but one down from Ascension. There's the Earth and Air. That's the male version of this one here, I think. Yeah, it does look really cool, I agree. And there's the Earth and Air, but I think that's the base of the first raid armor, which was this one, I think. Yep. So that's the base of that one. Level 1, if you will. Level 1 up to level 50. And there's the female. So the same one, but female instead. Okay, there's that one. And then we have the female of the Dual Earth. Alright, there's the Earth and Fire. That's the male of that one, but one step down from Ascension. There's the female Earth and Spirit Raid Armor, which was this one? Yeah, sorry. Just as a double check, because my memory's not always as good as it used to be. Making sure I'm getting the right armors. There's the Earth and Spirit, but that's the very first one. That's the base of the male. That's the Drill of Mists, Ethereal Winds, and Eggbearer's Aegis combo. All originally Earth and Air armors, so at least they maintain the elements. So that one is the male, but a step down, I believe. Nope, wrong one. That one right there. Yeah. So it's a step down from Ascension, I think, or is that the female? That's female, actually. I was wrong. Hard to tell on that one. It's really, really close. Like if you look at the arm there and the arm there, it's not a huge difference, but they're both obviously the ascended versions. I'm just going to assume, actually let's look at the legs. That's really hard to tell, to be honest. There's a bit more of a bump in that chest plate, so I'm going to assume this one's female. Not like I'm going to be using it while I'm assembling the armors right now anyway, but that's the female, I think. So that's this one, but the female version. Okay, there's the... That's what the exclusive looks like before Ascension. Still pretty cool looking. But that's the male version. It's going to be an Earth, Earth, and a War. Most likely, yes. Because there's 3 wars this month. There's 3 wars in May, rather. And I'm getting notifications just now from Twitch that people are following when they've already been in the chat for several minutes. Okay, so that one's the exclusive. That I think is the base male. I think of that Earth and Air, which I think was this one. Yeah. Okay, so that's the base, but the male version. And now we're back to this guy, which is the Elios Flare Guard, Tidal Cup Blader, and Tailwind Crusader mix and match. So that's also dual Earth, so this is probably going to be the other war armor, I would assume. That's the male version of that one, so that's this one here. Whoops, I'll do that. Copy, there we go. Why are you not doing it? What is going on here? Why is my F2 no longer working? What are you doing, computer? Apparently I hit my button here and I disabled it. Okay, that's really freaking weird. Okay, what is going on here with my keyboard? It just locked up on me. Why are you not renaming? What in the hell is going on here? That is so bizarre. My computer just started freaking out on me. There we go. Now it's suddenly back. I don't know. Stream is lagging a bit. Yeah, it could just be my computer's being doofy. Is it wireless? Yes. Batteries are brand new. That one is male, but evolution 1. Why are you not doing this? Why are you fighting me? What the hell is going on here? Earth and Air. Oh, wrong one. No wonder. Derp. It's this one up here. This is the one I wanted. No, it's not it either. Where the hell are you? Oh, it's dual Earth. What am I doing? Duh. Obviously, I'm doing it wrong. Sorry. Yeah, my internet was being a little laggy there, and it was probably my computer, to be honest, because it was being really laggy, too. Okay, there we go. Hey, Alex, how's it going? So there's the male, but that's the Earth and Water. Where are you at? There it is, right there. There's the dual, or the Earth and Spirit at the very top at the female base. There's that Drill of Mists combo doohickey. Okay, Alex, let's not get into a conversation about which guild or alliance is best. I'm not a big fan of that, just so you know. Had a stream a while back where people started doing the exact same thing, and I just about shut the stream down because people wouldn't stop. That's that one right there. That's the male, I believe. Yes, should be. Okay, there's that one. Okay, there's our Earth and Spirit, which was this one, I think? No, not even close. I think it was later down. Or farther up, I mean, not sorry, not later down. Number 5, is it 6? Yeah, it's 6, there we go. So that's number 6's unascended version. Can I show you the Earth again for 5 seconds? If you're not going to be on the stream for any longer, then I suppose I could. Yes, that's it right there. Well, sorry, but it's not easy to understand sarcasm and joking through just plain text. So if you don't, like, you know, make a clear indication that you're joking, it's not always as easy to tell. Anyway, moving on. It is Earth Month next. Yes, that's why all these armors are Earth-based. Okay, so that's the female of the Earth and Air up here, I think. No, that's the raid armor. I keep going up too high. That one right there. Yep, okay. That's the base of that one. Oh, for crap's sake, stop it, computer. I've done like 4 back-to-back Windows updates today, and it just won't stop. It just keeps doing more and more and more and more. And every time I think I'm done, it says Windows updates, Windows updates. It's like I check it like every day. Suddenly I have 5. Anyway, there's the female of that Earth and Earth, which was up here. That's the Loki Frost Stone. Yeah, it's a little obvious. Not that I have any concept of what that is because I don't play on iOS, but anyway. There's the female, I believe. Yeah, that's the female of the Earth and Air down here at the bottom. Yes. Okay, that one there. There's the base of the male, I believe, of the Earth and Spirit raid armor, which was, I think, this one. Yes, it was. Almost done through the armors sorting. Oops, no base. Duh. What am I doing? That's the female of the Earth and Water. One step down from Ascension. Okay, there's the Earth and Spirit female, which I think was that one. Yep. Okay. Earth and Fire, that's the male base, which was that one. The only Earth and Fire makes it easier. There's the Earth and Earth, that's the base. I do like that helmet though, I have to say that's pretty cool looking. It's a cool looking armor all around, but even at base it still looks cool. Because a lot of them don't really look their best until they're fully ascended, but that one looks cool just at base by itself. To me, anyway. Earth and Spirit raid armor is that one. That's the base of that one. There's the Earth and Water. That's the base of the male. That's the base of the dual Earth. Mix and match guy doohickey, whatever you want to call him. And there's the female right after it. Okay, and there's the base of the female of the Earth and Water. That one right there. Yeah, there are a bunch of reskins. There usually are. There's usually like 3 to 4 every month. Spirit month I think only had 2 or 3, something like that. But yeah, there's always going to be reskins, unfortunately. Unfortunately, no way around it. It's just going to happen every month, pretty much. Some armors I don't mind so much because they make them kind of look new and more fresh, quote unquote. They're not quite as bad as, you know, and sometimes they're even better looking than the original. Like the Grizzly Executioner reskin we just had. It was fire and air, which is obviously not an ideal element combination. But I like that one better than I like the original. That was Earth and Spirit in the first place. Spirit, Earth, whatever. But I like it better than the original. But that's just me. So. Earth and fire. This is the base of the female, I believe. Yeah. Oops. Okay. There's the base of the male of the earth and air. I think it's this one. Yes, it is. And the female right after it. Handy dandy. Yeah, true, but sometimes the element combinations are better, sometimes they're worse. Just depends. There's Earth and Spirit. That one was, I think, this one. Yeah. So that's the base of the male of that one. And the female right after it. And there's our cape. Looks like a bunch of leaves. Makes sense, it's Earth Month. So there's cape number 1. There's usually 3, and there's number 2. Let me just jump through here really quick. So we've got 16, 61, and 66. So 60, 61, and 66. New folder, cape. Get that out of my way right now. And we'll rename that one as cape. There we go. Get that out of my way right at this moment. Okay, so let's jump back to here. So this is a greeting to the heads and the amulets and rings and pets. So let me jump actually forward here. I'm going to jump ahead of these really quick and pull the pets out right now. So we have what looks to be a raccoon. Yep, it's a raccoon. Okay, so we have 70, 70 to 72, and 74, 70 to 72, 74, and 77. How do I get them? So when your game does an update each month, and FYI, this data has already been loaded into the game for the most part. It's actually in the game files, yes, but if you know where to get them, you can get them before they're actually loaded into the game. And that's where I usually get them from. I usually get them anywhere between 2 and 3 days and upwards of 2 weeks before they hit the game. So if you can't get into the game files, you can't get access to them at all. And it's really not possible, even on a jailbroken phone, as far as I'm aware, on iOS. It has to be done from Android. Is it in the game code itself? No. They are separate files that are loaded each month. So if you get an update in game and it says downloading 14 megabytes or 15 megabytes, that's the game files that this is loading right here. So this one, you'll actually probably get another update because in the original file that was loaded, there were only 9 armors. This update here is a newer version of the same file that it has 10 instead, and also has the pets. The first file didn't have pets at all. So this one has pets, and it has the 10th armor in it. So there's actually 18 or 19 more images in it. But no, the data is not in the game code itself. Although there are images in the game code, this isn't in the game code. Okay, let me jump forward here. Let me get my pets out. So 79, 79, 90, 92, 79, 90, and 92, 100, and 104. 100 and 104. Those are the pet images of the individual pieces. I guess that out of there. It's out of my way. And let me close that. I'm going to sort through these really quick just to see which one's which. Oh, if they're in order, that's handy. Okay, so image 70 here, the very first one is tier 5. If I could type today, that would be helpful. Do I think they will come out with a pet event? I have no idea. It's possible. Something they've been discussing, I know that much. Oops, that's tier 5. What am I doing? Oh, for crap's sake. Stop it. That's tier 5. So 71 is tier 4. 72 is tier 3. 74 is tier 2. And 77 is tier 1. Just get that done right now while I'm at it. Okay, back to the images in the main area here. So that's our earth and fire. The only earth and fire. Armor number 4. That's the earth and spirit down toward the bottom, if memory serves. This guy right here, I think. Yes, it is. There's the earth and spirit at the very top, the very first one. That's the reskin of the Megaton Templar, which was earth and earth originally. There's the Sapphire Brunite, and whatever that other one was, renamed. That's the earth and spirit raid armor, which I think was this one. Yes. Okay. So that's the head for that one. There's the head for the exclusive. That's an easy one to spot, those big horns in the front. There's the head for the earth and spirit seasonal, which I think was, let's see, where was it now? Up toward the top, a bit higher there. Oops, not that one. Derp. This one. Wait a minute. Oh, that's earth and water. What am I doing? Duh. That's earth and water. Yeah, earth and water. No wonder I'm getting confused. It's like, I've already gone through the earth and spirit. Why do I have another one? Duh. Colors. Colors are wrong. Does anyone know the upcoming War of Elements? The upcoming war this coming weekend, this coming Friday, it's Spirit and Earth. The last one was Spirit and Fire. The next one's Spirit and Earth. There's our Title Cut Blader combo doohickey. That's the dual Earth at the top, which I'm thinking is going to be a war. This one here. That one there. Armor number 2. There's our raid armor, which was this one, if memory serves. Yep. That's the earth and air down toward the bottom, which was the reskin of the Sea Behemoth, which was originally dual water. It's a fusion armor. There's the Drill of Mists doohickey combo guy that has all the different various stuff in it. That's the head of that one. There's the Megaton Templar ring. Let me just make sure there's no other heads. Nope, that's it. Cool. Alright. Alright, so that one is the Megaton Templar's ring. The original ring, actually. And that's very nearly the same color scheme as the original, too. Let me see if I can find the amulet for it really fast. That's it right there. That's 84. Okay, so that one's done. Back to here. We got the Sapphire Brunite reskin, which was the Earth and Spirit right there. Okay, so that's that one. That's the amulet for that. And I think the ring is just one or two later. Yep, there's the ring for it. Same ring, just different colors, as per the norm. Okay, let's start fresh here. So this one is the ring from the Ethereal Winds. So therefore that's going to go with, I think, this one. Whoops, not the head, armor. Yeah, the Ethereal Winds shield. So that's the Ethereal Winds ring. And I think the amulet's in here too. Yep, there it is right there, 85. So they've slightly changed the color scheme on this one. It's still Earth and Air, and the original armor was Earth and Air as well. But they've changed the color scheme just slightly. It's not a huge difference, but they've changed it. Okay, so that's the Title Cut Blader. That's the dual Earth up here at the top. This one? Yeah. That's the original amulet for it. So that's the amulet. And the ring is probably right afterward. Yep, there it is right there. 97 is the ring. Okay, I'm just going through these, kind of grabbing each one individually, makes things a little easier. That, I believe, is the exclusive. Yeah, it looks just like the shield. That's the exclusive amulet. And that is probably the ring for it. Sometimes it's the shoulders. It does have a very similar kind of color scheme to the shoulder. It looks just like the shoulder, actually. The spike here just isn't as long, but it does have the same side spikes. So that's that. Ring and amulet for that set. Okay, now we get into the ones I don't know. That one is probably earth and fire, I'm going to guess, just based on the colors. Yep, looks just like the shield, right there. And the shoulder. Actually, looks more like the shoulder, but just a different color scheme because it's fire instead of earth. So that's it right there. Or sorry, that's earth instead of the color scheme of that shoulder. It's more earth colored. Anyway, so that's the ring for the earth and fire. Yeah, it is the same symbol. Yep, that's usually the easiest way to spot them. That's earth and water, I can tell by the color, because it's the only water one in the entire file. And it looks like there's usually a clear indication of what it looks like in the armor somewhere. Sometimes it's the shoulder, like I said, sometimes it's not. That's actually a bit more spirity looking. Never mind. That's not that one. It's going to be the earth and spirit up here, I think. Yep, it's that one. Sorry, duh. It looks just like the shield. But because it's water, it's a different color scheme. Or spirit, rather, excuse me. I was just looking at the earth and water and getting myself confused. There are 3 earth spirits, 3 earth airs, 2 dual earth, earth water, earth fire, and that's it. So there's 10 total armors. So there's 3 earth spirits, there's 3 earth airs, there's earth, fire, earth, water, and 2 dual earths. So 10. So that's earth and spirits amulet. And that is the raid armor. Looks just like the, kind of has the same look and feel as the armor itself. That's the earth and air up here, I believe. Yeah. Let me grab the amulet for it really quick too while I'm at it. There it is right there, number 102. Okay. And now we have the ring for the earth and fire. I'm almost positive. Looks just like it. Actually, no, it's not earth and fire's ring because earth and fire already has a ring. That's a dual earth. No, it's not dual earth either. What are you? Where do you belong? See, so this one I have the dual earth. I have that one already. I have that one already. Earth and fire ring I have already. Earth and spirit I have that one. Earth and water? Huh. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Could be. Could be. Oh, yeah, duh. Same fire looking like thing in the middle of the chest right here. Yeah, duh. Don't know why I didn't see that. Sometimes it's easy to spot them, sometimes not so much. So that's the ring for that earth and water. There is the ring, or the amulet for the same one, I think. Yep, looks just like the shield, but colored water instead. So there's the amulet for that one. There's one of the crafting materials, so that's number 95. So we're going to do SF34. And I have no idea which one's exclusive versus regular, so you can ask, but I won't be able to tell you. SF34, material 2. So we have an acorn, and we have a pine cone. Those are our materials. Okay, so 96, this is the earth and fire, I believe. But the ring. instead. No, I already have the ring. Nope, nope, nope. Which ring am I missing here? Earth and air, maybe? Whoops, wrong one. No, it's not that one, definitely. Because that's the other two that are already there. Maybe? It does have a similar look to the shoulder right here, that curve that goes right here. It does have a very similar look to the shoulder. But it's not quite exactly the same, but it does have the same wings as the shield. I'm going to say it's that one, because it looks like it. A pine cone and yeah, the acorn. Who knows? I mean, it's possible. That's the ring for that one. And the last two, or not the last two, but the last three are going to be the Sea Behemoth reskin, which is the earth and air down here. Right there. Yep, that one. So that one is the, oops. So we have earth and air. So we have 98 and 99. That's the ring. Oh, for crap's sake. Brandon type. Fingers. Cooperate. There we go. Amulet. And the last is the earth and fire amulet. That's the only one I was missing of the earth and fire. I could not find it. And I just did. So I think that's it. 17 to Siri. What? I don't even have an iPhone. So I can't. Physically impossible. Okay. So we have earth and spirit, earth and earth, earth and air, earth and fire, earth and spirit, earth and spirit, earth and air, earth and water, earth and air, earth and earth. Okay, got it. Okay, so the crafting materials are again a pine cone and an acorn. No idea which one's which, but there you go. Okay, so now we get to go into the assembly process. Got to put armors together. So there's armors 1 through 5. Oops. Go ahead and edit those. Give that a second to load. My editing application always takes forever if I haven't used it recently. Okay. Okay, so we should have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Got it. Okay. Alrighty. Here we go. Oops. There we go. A little laggy there for a bit. Don't need the color palette right now. This is when my stream tends to lag the most, is when I'm doing all these edits, because this application, they've done a few updates to it recently, and it was really efficient when it comes to like CPU and RAM usage, but the last update or two has really kind of changed the dynamic a lot, so it uses a lot more CPU and RAM than it used to, which I'm not necessarily a fan of. Maybe I just need to get more RAM. That would probably help substantially. Arm. Is there supposed to be a color, or does that come back later? What are you talking about? This has color. Can you not see that right there and that right there? It's got color to me. I can see color just fine. Let me zoom in. I can see definite purples in there. The armor is admittedly quite a bit more monotone than some of the other ones are, but it definitely has colors. Like that's definitely a different color. Oh, yeah, that's the colors. This armor originally wasn't that colorful either. With it being Earth Spirit, it's mostly Earth colors, but there are some kind of purpley bits to it. So, massive shield on that guy. And this massive weapon too. This armor was honestly pretty cool when it first came out. I have it on one account on EU. But I don't think I have that. No, I think I have just the one. Yeah, I have it just the one time on EU. I didn't get it on any other accounts. There's that guy. And the back of the weapon, the hilt, the handle, whatever term you prefer, goes in the very back. Like so. I gotta zoom in, I can't see that well. Where are you at? There it is. Okay, so there's that guy. Right about there. Gotta zoom out a little bit so I can get it back in its right rough location. It was originally Earth and Earth, yeah. Megaton Templar was the name. And it's really, really wide if memory serves. Yeah, 305. Not as tall as it is wide. There's a lot of armors like the Sapphire Brunite reskin, the raid armor that's Earth and Spirit. That one's small. It's not as wide. It's pretty square. This one's much more wide than it is tall. Okay, so let me save this. Move that out of the way there. Wrong folder entirely. No wonder. Trying to figure out where it was going. So this is Armor 1, Earth Spirit. Okay. Let me grab that other folder here. Before I move on any farther, I'm going to grab this stuff here really quick. Drop it into my other folder so I have everything already there. Oops, don't want that. And drop them in here. There we go. And I'll grab also the bosses while I'm at it. There we go. Cool. Okay. So, now onto this guy here, which is a Tidal Cut Blader head, but two other armors for the other bits. So, hey V-Dubs, what's going on? So this one is the, like I said, the Tidal Cut Blader head, of course recolored, the shield of the Tailwind Crusader, and then the weapon and armor otherwise of the Ilios Flare Guard. So it's a combination of a air-water, air-fire, and dual air. So it's all airs originally, but now it's dual earth, so whatever that means. But I noticed it has this additional bit on the back of the head that the first one did not have, which is cool. Change of the original armor design. This is the Ilios Flare Guard armor. I actually had to look this one up because I was trying to figure it out. I was like, what is this? Where is this all coming from? I recognize the head easily enough, but the armor, I was like, what does that look like? It looks like something else entirely. It's the Ilios Flare Guard. It's an air and fire armor. So needless to say, I was a little confused. Because the shield doesn't match the armor either. It's a different shield from an entirely different armor. So, whoops, didn't move my layer. Derp. There we go. So that's that right there. And the arm. There's the arm. Head looks big. It does. It looks big on the armor, but it'll probably look better once I add the rest of it. There's that, before I add anything else to it. Doesn't look bad. I have seen worse. Some are not as bad as others, obviously. But the shield is an entirely different armor. Colored the same, of course, but I don't know. I don't mind it. It's weird. It's different. But it's a good change from just the usual, just recoloring of all the same armor. They've actually gotten a little bit more inventive on this, which is always good to have a little bit more variety. I guess that's good right there. Okay, now I gotta blend in that wrist, as usual. There we go. Favorite out of the armors you went through? This month, probably the Dual Earth, the exclusive, honestly. So far, I mean, I haven't assembled them all, so I can't really say for sure it's going to definitely stay that way, but it is initially my favorite armor. So with the weapon and the shield, that doesn't look so bad. The head doesn't look quite as large. Okay, so that one is, how wide are we here? 260. Huh, that's actually pretty square. Pretty square, actually. Don't have to mess with that one too much at all. So that is, move this back over here where I can see it now. So this is armor 2, earth and earth. So like I said, this is most likely going to be our one of our war armors. So a fiery hint to it. Yeah, it does. Earth will sometimes, I've noticed, have more of a fiery hint to it. Here's our raid armor. Our earth and air raid armor. That was Frozen Plateau Night Lord? Or is that somebody else? I'm just going off of what Aaron said. I have to say, I do like the look of that one too. I do like the entirely new designs though, all in all. I mean, reskins, of course, I've seen them before, so I know what they look like. Just the different color schemes on them, but I do like the look of this one a lot. Just because the names don't match doesn't mean Night Lord isn't here. He said he might join in, so. And names quite often on Twitch don't match even close to what you might use online or in game. Okay, shield, where are you? There you are. Okay, so there's that armor before I add anything to it. So people can kind of see what it looks like. Oops, yeah, there we go. And there's the shield, which unfortunately is going to cover up most of that arm and the effects on it, but that's pretty normal. Then we have this massive looking hammer thing with like these kind of crystal-y bits on the ends of it, which is pretty cool. There we go. Reminds you of Groot. I was waiting for someone to say that, actually, because it does have a very Groot look to it. Not very much Groot, but there's definitely a Groot aesthetic to it. And there's that one. Okay, width-wise, we're about 252. This one's also pretty square. Yep. I like it when they're easy to size. Makes my life a little easier. So this is armor number 3, Earth and Air. So that's raid armor number 1. Again, no guarantee that's the order. That's just the order they come out. I'm just calling it 1 because it's the first one in the files. Here's our only Earth and Fire, so this is going to be one of our seasonals. They've actually been doing that a lot lately. The off element armors that aren't adjacent, they've been doing one usually of each. So like this month we have one Earth or one Spirit and Air. That's it. Even though the art team messed up on that one and they actually colored it Earth and Spirit. Or Spirit and Earth, sorry, excuse me. It should have been Earth. It should have been Spirit and Air in the first place, but apparently the art team didn't get the memo. Has the exclusive been compiled yet? No. It's going to be the very last one, because it coincidentally is armor number 10, just in the order they came out in the files. I'm working on number 4 right now, so it won't be long. I do like the look of this one too, though, I have to say. I don't generally like the stats of Earth and Fire armors, but I do like the looks of them more often than not. Same thing with Fire and Air. Air and Fire, whatever. I like the looks of the armors. I don't like their stats overall. It's almost like a shield on the arm, which is kind of cool. Like there's like a separate piece. It almost looks like a shield. If any of you who've ever played fantasy games and know what a buckler is, it's like a small shield that just straps on the arm, like right here. That's what that looks like. It looks like a buckler. But he already has a shield besides. So anyway, there's that armor, which I do like the look of in general. Before I add anything to it, where's the shield? There it is. And the shield, unfortunately, as usual, covers up most of the effects. But that's okay. It still looks cool. Yeah, it's a cool looking armor. I like the looks of Earth and Fire armors all the way around. Like the Heartstone Anger from a few seasons back, I love the look of that armor. It just looks mean. But unfortunately, as always, I don't like the stats of them all that much. Because they tend to not be very... They tend to be a very attack heavy with only moderately good defense and just sorta okay, you know, HP. Really need more designs for armors without shields. Well, you mean like dual weapon armors? Like they used to do in the days of the epic armors? And legendary, actually. And one of the very first Dragon Forged, which was the Dark Scale Battle Gear, which was a design armor that a player designed, was also a dual weapon armor instead of a weapon and shield. So there's that one. Dual weapons, yeah, they do look pretty cool. I like a lot of those armors. Maybe they can bring back a Dragon Forged or something, or an Epic or Legendary, and reskin it as Shadow Forged. That's a pretty wide armor, 280. So not quite as square as the previous ones. There we go. Okay, now we have our raid armor number 2, which is the Sapphire Brunite, and I don't remember what the name of it was. It was one of those ones that was renamed for the top raid leaderboard across all 4 servers. I don't remember the name, but it was one of those. It was originally Water and Earth, then Water and Fire in the reskin for the raid, and now it's Earth and Spirit. So they kept one of the original elements. Tomahawk, welcome. New armor designs instead of reskins. Yeah, they do new armors every month, but they don't. They reuse armors rather than coming up with entirely new designs, I'm assuming. from more of a budget standpoint, it's not as expensive to just redesign an existing armor as it would be to create an entirely new one. I got some indication from the Deca side that that's part of the reason why, is it's just not as expensive to come up with reskins as it is opposed to coming up with brand new armors each time. It's more expensive to have entirely new designs created each time. That's what I'm basically saying. All right, where's your arm? There it is. So this is the coffee cup head. That's what they called it when it was the first one, the Sapphire Brew Knight. Coffee cup head. So there's that one. Earth and Spirit variety of this one instead. It's a cool looking armor all in all. I'm just not a fan of reskins. Alright, and this big old massive shield that's just humongous compared to the armor itself. And this big old massive like axe looking thing that's also humongous compared to the size of the armor. Gotta blend in that one a lot. There we go. Where's the rest of the handle? There it is. Hiding at the bottom. Alrighty. I can hide you in right about there. So there's that one. Okay. And I believe this one's also relatively square as well. And I'm just now getting the notification that Tomahawk's following. And that one's 280. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a bit off of square, but not too far off. Right about there. Okay, back to my folder here. We can grab armors 6 through 10 now. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now we should have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to assume that this one is going to be a seasonal, Earth and Spirit seasonal. I could be wrong, of course, but I'm pretty sure it will be. And then the Earth and Air armors, one of the two other Earth and Air armors, is going to be a fusion. One of them will be fusion. Should be. Had some kind of off months with the fusion armors. We had one month there were no fusion armors, and then we had another month where it was the same one twice. And that was intentional, by the way, for anyone who's curious. I checked on it. It was intentional. So we didn't get a unique armor that month, last month, for fusion. So they've been kind of off for the past couple of months, but hopefully we'll get back into a more normal routine again with this month and next month. Because we already had our off element earlier this month, which was the air and water fusion, which unfortunately won't really be useful for another couple of months, but it's okay. Alright, so shield. This one's shield is relatively small compared to some of the other ones I've seen. So there's that armor without anything added to it. If I drop the shield on here, it covers up some of the arm, but not all of it, which is good. Now we have the weapon, which is huge. It's a flamey looking weapon, even though this is an Earth and Spirit armor. Definitely has purple bits to it, of course, but it has like these flames that don't really follow the color scheme of the armor otherwise. Blend in the wrist a bit again. There we go. And the handle is right next to it, which is handy. And that is going to go right about here. Big old long weapon on that thing though. Holy crap, it's huge. This is going to be a wide armor just because of that weapon. The shield's puny, but the weapon's humongous. Oops, turned out a little too far. Right about there. Yep, 320. So the widest armor in pixels, I've mentioned this in previous streams, but the widest armor in pixels from side to side is the Decatron. It's 350 pixels. It's like the height of the armors is really not that, doesn't change a whole lot. There's like the tops of the helmets, and of course, stick up higher than the head, so that makes it a little bit taller in that respect. But the heads of the armors are all roughly the same size, so they're all roughly height-wise the same. But the width of the armors varies quite a lot from armor to armor. So that one is armor 6, whoops, which is also Earth and Spirit. So again, I'm guessing that's seasonal. So I'm going to guess that this armor here might be our fusion. Just a guess. But it's either this one or that combo reskin that has the ethereal winds and all the other stuff attached to it. But I'm thinking it's probably going to be this one. Because this one still, even to my eyes now, does not look distinctly earth and air to me. It still has a very kind of watery look to it. Maybe just because the original one was dual water, but it doesn't look specifically earth and air to me. I mean, there's earth, obviously, but not a whole lot of air look to this armor. But it definitely has air. You can see the air swirl right there. I don't know. It has definitely more of like almost a... Oh, stop that. Mouse is freaking out on me. Definitely still has more of a watery look to it. Yeah, it's a reskin. It's a reskin of the Sea Behemoth. But it's it doesn't look distinctly air to me. It looks earth to me, but not air. So, yeah, maybe it's just me. You want an armor with a scythe. Yeah, it's actually something I've wanted for a while too. So there's that one. And shield right there. This one also has a massive weapon on it as well. It's really, really huge. More earth and water. Personally, I like earth and water, but I don't like it that much. They're usually tanks. They have really, really good attack and defense, usually really balanced. But I'm not generally a fan of earth and water. Most of the time. Bruce the Mole. Your solitary period speaks volumes. Or is that a comma? Looks like a comma. Never mind. Okay, there's that one. And where's the handle? There it is. The very bottom. Again, hiding away. Very short handle on this one. Goes right about like so. Massive weapon, but it makes it tall, not wide. There we go. That about right there. Width-wise, about 260. Yeah. Much more tall than it is wide, which is rare. This does not happen all that often. There we go. Armor 7. Earth and air. Okay, now we have our only earth and water, which of course makes it a seasonal automatically. This definitely has more of a fiery look to it though. It has like these like color schemes here kind of have a fire hint to them, even though it's earth and water. feet are kind of weird looking. Kind of like forked looking feet. Cool, but just weird. Sorry, looking for the arm. I'm like, where'd the arm go? It's right next to where I just was. Derp. The calendar of this month, it shows there's a Blitz War this one, 30th April still. I have no idea. They haven't actually said one way or the other. It might be like a pet event or a fusion event. I really don't know. If they do put a set in it, though, it won't be the exclusive set. Yeah, it won't be the exclusive set because they'll as of this Blitz that'll be happening tomorrow. That'll be 3 times. That's all they do is with the exclusive set is 3 times. So one more with it at the top milestone of the 875, and then another one where it's both the lower, which is 350 and 475, and then another one at 875. So they're not going to do it again. They'll probably redo like the Spirit Earth or something, or not Spirit Earth. What's it called? Spirit Fire. Sorry, the Fuming Belcher. Okay, arm. So much going on. Yeah, it does have a lot going on. It does look really cool, though. I agree. That arm just a little bit higher. There we go. So there's that one, before I add anything to it. And where's the shield? There it is. And this shield's also pretty busy. A lot going on with this armor, and generally I agree. Very busy looking armor. And there's the shield, which again covers up the arm, but thankfully not that much of it, so you can still see it. And the weapon is this big old massive blade. It has a definite kind of technological look to it. It's, I don't know, it's cool looking though. Been a lot of cyberpunky and, you know, kind of technological looking armors lately. Cyberpunk and kind of cybertech, I don't know what term you'd use, but a lot of like armors that have very futuristic looks to them. New armor with skill self-destruct. Who knows? I doubt it, but it's kind of funny anyway. There's that one. Pretty cool looking, all in all. Who's it said that? Oh, Ryan-Chi. Ryan-Chi. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Probably Ryan or Rion. Okay, so that one's 280 by... That one's pretty square as well. A lot of square armors this time around. Not as many that are so oblong, like so wide or so tall. Some, not that many. Okay, armor 8, earth, water. Now we have the earth and air. So like I said, this one or the Sea Behemoth fusion. Don't know which. Could be either or. One moment, please. I have not done the exclusive yet. Sexy Cape, I already took it. I already moved into its own folder. I'll show it here in just a bit. So this one, as I said earlier on, if you weren't on the stream already at that point, this one is a combination of 3 armors. So this one is the head of what's called the Drill of Mists, which was an earth and air armor from a while back, a few months ago. It was from a war. And then the armor is from the armor and the weapon, I should say, are from the Eggbearer's Aegis, which we had as a fusion armor last month, twice. So that's the armor from that, same armor. And the weapon is the same weapon. But the shield is from the Ethereal Winds, which was the Earth and Air exclusive from season, like 14 or something? Quite a while ago. Anyway. But yeah, so it's 3 separate armors. So the head of the Drill of Mists, the body and weapon of the Eggbearer's Aegis, and then the shield of the Ethereal Winds, with the ring and amulet set from the Ethereal Winds. Yeah, it was exclusive. Yeah, the Ethereal Winds was exclusive, and the Egg Bearer's Aegis was as well. They're both exclusive armors. But the Drill of Mist was a war armor from, I'd say, 10 months ago? Something like that. So there's the armor, and there's the shield, which actually does match relatively well with that armor. And then the weapon is the Egg Bearer's Aegis, which we had again as a fusion armor. It's the bunny ear armor for those of you who don't know it by name. And there's the weapon, which that one I can drop pretty much right on the top. That's handy. Okay, and the weapon hilt right there. And that's that. There we go. Doesn't look bad all in all. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the head, but doesn't look bad overall. So about 290. Yep. Another one that's wider than it is tall. Right about there. That's number 9. And now we have the exclusive. Drum roll, please. Ethereal Winds Season 19. Okay, yeah, and then the what you call it? Egg Bearer's Aegis was 5 seasons prior, if memory serves. And Drill of Mists has been within the last year, I think. But they were all Earth and Air armors. Earth, Air, Air, Earth, whatever. Welcome, Yovafek. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm totally massacring that name. I have no idea. Whoops. Did not want to do that. Wrong window. Yovafek, I'm guessing is probably how it's pronounced. Welcome. So there's that. Right about there. This one has like upward facing claws on the feet, which is kind of interesting. But it definitely has a fiery hint to it for sure, like somebody mentioned earlier. Has a definite fiery feel to it. Like about like so. Actually, that's a little bit too, oops. A little bit too far in there. That looks better. Not a huge difference, but it looks off to me. Okay. Oops, don't cut. Copy. Derp. And there is the shield. And the weapon looks like this really nasty looking mace. Debating going for the exclusive. It's too good to pass up. It is a cool looking armor for sure. It has almost like a bone look to the weapon with like these like spiky bits coming off the side. Pretty cool. Alright. But it definitely has a bone look to it. Like there's lots of bone looking bits to it. All in all, an undead feel. Yeah, it definitely has an undead feel to it. It's got these like bony bits across the shield, across the weapons, across the like the plates that go over the legs, the chest plate. It looks very bony, lots of bones. And then the weapon, it looks like it's been wrapped in bone, like, or not wrapped in bone, but bone wrapped in another kind of weaponry. That's it right there. That's the Elite. Yes, it is. Exclusive, Elite, whatever term you prefer. I always use the name exclusive because in the news banner in the game, it always says the exclusive materials, the exclusive armor. Elite is a carryover from the Dragonforged days on EU when we used to be able to craft Dragonforged. The Elite was like the top of the line exclusive at that point in time, each month on EU. So that's 255-ish. This one's also pretty square, which is handy. That's it. Something grass-like died in volcano. Okay, whatever that means. Okay, let me look at my previous file here. It was 1500 by 1100. Okay. Okay. Now we get to start assembling the sheet. So we're at about the 350 mark to about the 700 mark. Look about like so. And now we can start putting the armors on the sheet. Oops, wrong folder. That folder right there. There we go. We can jump back out to here. We should have now the armor. So we have the amulet, head, armor, ring, amulet, head, armor, ring, etc. all the way down the list. Cool. Alright, that makes things much easier, much more organized. So first we're going to take the Earth and Spirit, which is this guy here, Megaton Templar. Whoops, I'm on the wrong layer. I wanted that one right there, actually. Should go on top. Nope. What am I doing? Is this it? There we go. So I do that like every single stream. I put it in the wrong layer like every time. Okay. Certain the Blitz War at 29th of April still has elite materials for the Spirit Elite. Yes, it will still have materials for the current Elite, for the current exclusive Spirit and Spirit, but who knows what kind of like other things it will have. It'll have materials, but not the set. Unless they decide for some reason to do it 4 times in the same month, which they have not done as yet. So they'll probably do like some kind of pet event or a blitz or a fusion boost or something. I have no idea. Something. Not sure what their plan is at this point. Okay, there's the Earth and Air. Earth and Fire, which is our seasonal. Right about there. And the Earth and Spirit over here on the far end. I can probably shorten this up a bit once I get this all positioned. I can shorten it up to about here, roughly. Okay. Now we have our Earth and Spirit. I'm guessing this is this is going to be a seasonal, most likely. Right about there. Earth and Air. This is, I'm thinking, going to be the fusion. Can't guarantee it, of course, but it would make sense. It would follow, because it was a fusion armor originally. This is the Earth and Water seasonal, right there. And then we have the Earth and Air. The other one, I'm not really sure which of the Earth and Airs it's going to be. So it could be this one. So the Earth and Air up here on the top is the raid armor. This Earth and Spirit over here is the other raid armor. So they have Earth Air here and Earth Air here. So one or the other of these will be fusion. I just don't know which. I would guess it's going to be this guy, but I have no way of knowing for sure. And of course our exclusive on the tail end, on the far right. Right about here. Actually, I'm going to definitely be able to shorten that up. I can take this up to about 14. I can do 1425. I think I'll just do that right now. Kabam! Much better. Okay. So there's our armors. Now I get to go into my other folder here and grab my other my armor elements. First things first, we'll do fire since it's all by itself. Actually, before I do that, let me do a new layer. There we go. So I can put it right over the top of the existing. Perfect. There's our only fire and our only water. Just get those done right now. The same distance from the feet. Yep. Okay. Now I'm going to do my spirits, which were... I'm drawing a blank here. Which ones were they? Oops. Wrong window. There we go. Sexy cape time? Almost, yes. Almost. Not quite. So, spirit. Oh, for crap's sake, stop that. There we go. Okay, so spirit are 1, 5, and 6. Okay. We got spirit right there. And we have 6 right here. And over here on the far right. Okay, there's the spirits. Now we've got the airs. Whoops. Jumping all over the place here. Air. And that's going to be 4. Whoops. I'm jumping all over the place again. We got 3, 7, and 9. Okay. I just moved that, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay, so 3, which is our raid armor. Which is, and then we have our Sea Behemoth reskin. And this combo dude reskin. Ethereal Winds and Egber's Aegis and all that good stuff. And now we can go to Earth, which is our primary element for the month, which is everything else. Looks off to me. There we go, that's better. Now we have the dual Earth right here. Earth and air. Earth and fire. Earth and spirit. Dual Earth exclusive. Earth and air. War or fusion, I'm not sure. Seasonal. Earth and water. Fusion or war, earth and air, I'm not sure. And earth and spirit seasonal. I'm guessing. Pretty sure. Okay. So there's our elements. So here's my estimates or my predictions at this point. So if I can jump back to my other window here. Dual Earth will be a war most likely. So this one here on the far left, this one is Earth and Spirit. I'm guessing that's going to be a war. Dual Earth, war. Earth and Air, raid. Earth and Fire, seasonal. Earth and Spirit, raid. Earth and Spirit, seasonal. Earth and Air, either war or fusion. Earth and Water, seasonal. Earth and Air, war or fusion. And then Earth and Earth is the exclusive at the far right bottom. So when they have three wars in the same month, it's been pretty consistent that one of them will be a dual element. It's usually a war, almost every time. It's really rare for them to do a dual element otherwise, except for the exclusive, obviously, but that's only been in the past 8-9 months. So there's our armors. So I point that way because that's the screen I'm using. So you're seeing my webcam here, but the screen I'm actually pointing at is this one over here on the right. Okay, so now we're going to make some boxes, and I'm going to need my color palette here shortly. First deselect. All right, now we're going to go from here to about here. And 26. Cut that size almost perfect this time, instead of making it so huge every time. I am going to shorten it up though, it still seems a little big to me. about like that. That works. Good enough. Okay, that's off center. That's going to bug me now. Okay, we're going to undo that. Undo that. I'm going to type it back in again. So I can get it positioned where I want it. There we go. Now I can move this over and not be quite so right next to it. KnD Bob Ross, so calm and relaxing. I try to make it interesting at the same time and not like boring as hell. So I've had people say, "Oh, this is much more interesting than I thought it would be." That's the intention. I want it to be at least somewhat interesting so you can look at it and not only see me putting things together, but also get some information about things as I move along. Because I've been doing the DATAMINE itself for over 2 years now. I just can't remember exactly how long it's been. It's been like 26 months, 25 months, something like that. It's just over 2 years. But I've only been live streaming now for just over a year. So I think this last one I just did last month was 13 months. So this is 14. So it's only one video a month. That's all I do. I have had people tell me I should do more, but I don't really play any other games. So it's kind of hard for me to do something else. Okay, so there's that. Let me get the crafting materials. Number 1. Again, I don't know which one's which. If I had to make a guess, it's probably what, I'm trying to remember who it was that said it earlier. It probably is going to be the pine cone is the regular material, and the acorn is going to be the exclusive. I don't know, but that's just a guess, what I would think it would be. Most likely. There we go. Okay. Now we get into the bosses. Which one is the exclusive at the top or the bottom? The bottom right. This guy over here on the far right with kind of this bone looking bit to him, that's exclusive. This guy up here at the top, that's the Title Cut Blader reskin, is the War Armor. And I just realized I didn't put the rings and amulet sets on these. Derp, getting ahead of myself. Okay, let's do that really quick before I move on. So this is the Megaton Templar reskin with the same ring and amulet set. Yes, we're going to have 3 wars. Let me look at my calendar again. We have one on the 3rd, the 17th, and the 31st. 2 raids on the weeks in between. So this is the Title Cut Blader ring and amulet set, even though the only part of this armor that's the Title Cut Blader is the head. Am I going for the elite? I never go for the exclusives. Never. I've never once had one. I'll probably never have one. Mainly because I don't spend money on the game and I don't have enough time to be able to do all of it, all the necessary stuff to get all the materials to get it, even if I was efficient in my gem saving and gem collection. Doesn't happen often. No, not really. We have 3 wars per month. I would guess probably about once every 4 to 5 months, if that. Usually there's 4 events each month. Sometimes there's 5. We had 2 raids during Fire Month, or 3 raids, excuse me, during Fire Month. We normally have 2. We usually have 2 events, each month. So there's usually 9 armors. So the regular is doable if I had the time. Yes. 3 times there are 3 wars. There's actually been more than 3. There's actually been, if memory serves, there's been at least 6 in the past 2 years. It doesn't happen all that often, but it's usually wars when we have 3 events of the same kind per month. Very rarely raids, for whatever reason, just because of the way they line up in the months. So the Megaton Templar, this guy right here, was originally Dual Earth. That was during one of those months when there were 3 wars. And I think it was the last war of that month, if memory serves. It's quite often the last war of the month if there are 3. Not every single time, but it is frequently the way it is. Okay, there we go. And amulet. That guy right there. the same ring and amulet set for this one as it was originally. But again, this armor does not look distinctly Earth Air to me. Earth, yes. Air, no. Well, there were 3 raids during Fire Month, just a couple months ago. It does make it significantly easier, though. Ah, crap, I have to make another layer on this one. Just specifically for that. Actually, no, I don't need to do that. I can go right to here and do it there. I should have done it there in the first place. Oh well. Too late now. It'll end up the same in the end anyway. There we go. And amulet. This is the ring and amulet set for the Ethereal Winds, which was an exclusive. From many, many months ago. Actually, I need to move that over even more. It's nowhere near far enough to the right. There we go. Move, you doofy. Stop it. Keep clicking on it and it's dragging, it's making me want to shift the angle of it, not instead of moving it. Feels ironic the exclusive has an undead bone kind of theme. The material might be a seed. Yeah, technically pine cones are seeds too. Pine cones have seeds in them too, and coincidentally the only way to get pine cones to release their seeds is through fire. Well, not the only way, but it's the most common way. Okay, there we go. Now we have the armors with the ring and amulet sets too. Okay, now I can move on. New layer. Now I'm going to go to the bosses. We'll drop them in here. So that's our new boss right there. And that's the reused boss right there. Try to put it in roughly the same spot. Right about there. Put a bit over to the left. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to put the elements on them as well, which is way over. Where the crap did you go? Did I close you? I may have closed you. No, I didn't. Wrong window. Okay. Earth. Put you right about there. Right about there. Now we have the air guy on the left. Move. There we go. That looks good. And spirit on the right. Oh, you stupid thing. Stop it. Paste. There we go. There's all that. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the cape. Oops. Oh, not that. There we go. Cape. Which I have to admit, Dubs, you're right on this one. This is definitely a cool looking cape. I'll zoom in there so you can see it a little better. Get some like leaves and stuff looking to it. Pretty cool. Yeah, the wars are the 3rd, 17th, and 31st. And the raids are the 10th and 24th. Okay, so now let's do another couple of boxes here. Do this one for bosses. And this one for cape. And I will move these around in just a second. Whoops, I made that one way too long. Okay. Okay. Now, I can move them, kind of center them a bit so they're not quite so far off kilter. There we go. About like that. Okay. Now, time for the pets. Tier 1, which is a raccoon. Tier 2, okay, and tier 3, rocket raccoon. Coincidence? I don't know about that. It's possible that was intentional. Who knows? Still funny though. Is that right? Right. Yeah. Okay. I just had to look at it a little bit more closely. It was looking off to me, but I guess it's not. Now we have tier 4. And before anyone asks, I have no clue if this pet has shatter. All I get is images. And truthfully, I don't think it will. They haven't had a whole lot of shatter pets anytime recently. I don't know that they're going to have any more. They may, but they may also come up with new abilities. Who knows? All right. Do a box for the pets. And I am just about done. Okay, now let me do a quick save here. Doobie doobie doo. Oh, 05, May. I can't believe May's already almost here. Well, not almost, it's like half a month away, but still, holy crap. Alright, so now I'm going to try really quickly to do this on the very back. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So here we go. There it is. Mostly done. Now I need to go to here. I need to pick my text color. So this one is first row, third armor. And this one is first row, fifth armor. I literally just said I don't know what the abilities are. All I get is images. I have no idea what anything is pet armor wise. Like pets, armors. The only thing I can really say for sure is the raid armors. I can assume on a lot of the other ones, and I'm usually pretty close to being correct. But I don't know every time. I can't guarantee it. So, really all I can guarantee most of the time is just the raid armor. So this one here looks just like the boss, so it's clearly the raid armor. This one's reused and looks just like the boss that was used originally, so it's the raid armor. The dual earth over here is almost guaranteed to be the exclusive. This dual earth is a reskin, and they usually do not use reskins for seasonals or exclusives. Not every time, of course, there's been a few exceptions, but generally they don't. They prefer not to. Alright, now I gotta go in here and I gotta move this pet, or this cape rather, up a little higher than I put it. Put it a little bit too low. Let's be a little bit too high there. Maybe right there. That should work. Okay. Back to my back layer. My background layer, I should say. And I will now put in my text over here on the far right. DATAMINE. I hate that it does this. Jumps around on me when I'm typing in text. May 2019. I am probably going to have to move that. There we go. Having total brain cramp all of a sudden. Okay. Now I'm going to put in another thing up here. This is season 34. Earth. I'm going to center that one. And now, put an effect on it. Make it a bit glowy so it's easier to spot. There we go. Dunsky. There we are. So that's Earth month. So next month, May. So again, just for any of you who may not have been watching originally, we have Earth and Spirit. This one is probably going to be a war. Earth and Earth, war. Earth and Air, raid. Earth and Fire, seasonal. Earth and Spirit, raid. Down here, Earth and Spirit, this is going to be the seasonal. Earth and Air, the second and fourth in the bottom row. One is war, one is fusion. I just don't know which. Earth and Water is seasonal, and Earth is exclusive. So there we are. I will send this out the usual channels here shortly. We are right at the hour and almost exactly 50-minute mark since I started the stream, which granted not everyone was on yet at that point. But that is it. We are in good shape, so I'll send this out the usual channel shortly. So if otherwise, I think we should be good to go for the remainder of this month. If I hear anything additional, of course, I'll let everyone know. But that's it. Everyone have a good rest of your weekend and kick ass in the Blitz War tomorrow. Thanks.